What's up, guys? How are you? Welcome into a Saturday morning episode of the Daily Juice Podcast. My name is Matt Perrault. You guys can follow me across all of my socials at Sports Talk Matt, and we have made it back. Welcome to week 0 for college football. Very excited to get rolling with another college football season here with the Daily Juice. We're about 2 weeks away from the start of the NFL season, but it's great to have college back here, even though it is really early. And we got some big games to break down and talk about coming up here for the program today. Now, a reminder, 8 a.m., we're going to begin what will be a weekly thing, as long as I can do it, barring surgeries and whatnot. But I should be there for week 0 and for week 1. Week 2 in college football might be a little bit dicey. But week 1, week 2, we will be live at 8 o'clock in the morning Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern on the Discord channel for a weekly 30-minute breakdown of everything going on in the college football ranks. Call it our version of game day. Call it our chit-chat about what's happening with the line. And it's all happening coming up here today at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 8 o'clock in the morning Pacific Time. Now, you have to have your account linked to your BettingPros account. Full information is available on our Discord channel to get into that, but it is bettingpros.com/chat. If you are an OG and you're grandfathered in, you don't need to worry about it, but if you are new, you will need to do that so we avoid the spammers and the bots and everything else that goes on Discord. So that is happening today. Cannot wait to get back with you guys. And have you seen the number with the UNLV game? There's a reason why we talk and do this Discord channel chat. Now, I don't know how we bet this game, and we're going to wait and see what happens, because if this number continues to climb from a total perspective, we may be forced to take the under because it's getting to be ridiculously high. But the number was 23.5 48 hours ago. It's now 31 for UNLV over Idaho State. Excuse me? Makes me very angry. I was going to bet UNLV. I was going to take the 23, lay the 23 and a half. Anything below 24, I was going to lay. Didn't think we were going to see the bottle rocket here when it came to the number. 31 and a half is wow. So that's why we do the Discord chat. Let's watch that line. Let's see how high that thing goes, okay? That thing gets to be 32, 33, 34. We might be taking the dog there, and I work at UNLV, so I hope Dan Mullen puts up a ton of points, but their team total is 48 and a half in that game. How many points will Idaho State score? So we'll talk about that all coming up on the Discord channel conversation. 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 8 o'clock in the morning Pacific Time on the Betting Pros Discord. To get there, it's bettingpros.com/chat. Okay, to last night that we go. It was a 1-1 night. The Red Sox 0-0 against the Yankees, so that was a scratch. No harm, no foul. The Bears and Chiefs, how about the Bears coming back 19 points in the fourth quarter? That game flies over. But the Vikings +4, they lose by 10, so they do not cover. So we're down 0.1 units, really just a paper cut day, not that big of a deal. And we are still profitable for the week of August going on right now. So we have Saturday and we have Sunday. I have 2 college football plays. I have 1 baseball play, and I have 1 play in the W to give you guys coming up here today. Let's start with college football, and let's start with Kansas State and Iowa State. Now, this game is being played really early in the morning. It is a noon kickoff time, a 9 a.m. Eastern kickoff time, so we're going to be right up against it watching this number. Now, FanDuel has gone back to 3.5. They're the only ones in the country so far at 3.5. The number opened up at 3.5. It was bet to 3, but I was wondering about the money on K-State. Laying 3 or taking 3.5. If you take 3.5, I'm not going to argue, but you should not be laying 3.5 on Kansas State in this game. This is week 1. This is a bit of a toss-up, bit of a coin flip game, but because of the number, it was bet Iowa State plus 3.5. It was bet down to 3. This game is probably going to be a 3-point swing one way or the other. K-State went by 3 or Iowa State by 3. The total is 51. It opened up at 49. So there's been some play on the over, but I don't know about that just given going over to Ireland. The field conditions, what the weather will be, what the nightlife was like for the guys, the time change. I was just over there. It is a brutal time change. It was 8 hours for me. It's 6 hours for the guys in the Central Time Zone. So pretty dramatic, pretty tough to go over there and check that out. K-State's a minus 160 favorite at FanDuel, plus 132 on the other side. Iowa State will be without one of their best offensive linemen for this game. I think that's a very scary situation here up against Kansas State. I don't like the Iowa State offense replacing 2 key weapons from a wide receiver perspective for Ruckel Becht, and I think we've got the better quarterback with K-State and Avery Johnson, and a chance to run on Iowa State here, and a chance to keep the ball away from Iowa State's offense, frankly, and K-State just to get after it and get a big win here. So I do know that Matt Campbell has had a very good record against Chris Kleiman, and he's 4-1 against the spread against him. So that's a good mark for Iowa State. If you want to take the 3.5, I don't mind it, but I think in terms of 3, I do think Avery Johnson will move the football. I do think the running game will work for Kansas State, and I think that'll be a little bit ahead of where the defense is for Iowa State. I think K-State squeaks it out. It could be a push. Do not lay 3.5. We're only going to lay 3. If you somehow find a 2.5, that's brilliant. But I do expect late money to come on Kansas State to push this to 3.5. So if you're only going to place it at 3.5, either buy it down or don't play it. Okay. This is going to be a tight football game between these two rivals. It is Farmageddon, and Farmageddon is often a lot of fun. K-State minus 3, and we very well might get a push out of it here from Dublin, Ireland, but I'll take Kansas State minus 3 for 1.1 units. Bet number 2 in college football, and let's talk about KU, Kansas. They are opening up their brand spanking new stadium. $300 million donated by an alum to Kansas, and to make incredible improvements to this. I know that Fresno has an offense, okay? But I sat yesterday at Circus Sports interviewing a ton of people, one of which is a handicapper, bookmaker, whatever you want to call him, Rex Byers. And I trust Rex, and I trust his numbers, because early in the season, he is staring down these numbers. He is talking to all the sharps in Vegas. He's talking to the bookmakers in Vegas. And he thinks this price is wrong. He thinks this should be closer to a 3-touchdown mark here for Kansas, not less. And oftentimes, I tell you, when people give me advice, I give them credit. And when it's not my play, I follow it. I tell you guys about it. You can do what you want with it, but I give credit where credit's due. And Rex made a very convincing case to the point where I went and bet at 13.5. I went and laid it with Kansas. That number is now 14 or 14.5. So I can't give out the number that I played, because the money has pushed this thing already to 14. So we're going to officially play it at 14, but I got it at laying 13.5. If that number comes back down under 14, I like it even more. That's what the late move will be. But KU at home, KU to open it up, and Leopold's got a chance here, and he thought the Jayhawks to win the Big 12 had a lot of value. That's crazy. That's a unbelievable bet if you want to make it. I'm not sure I fully agree with it to go ahead and bet on Kansas to win the Big 12. That number at FanDuel is now 14-1. If you want to jump on that, I don't know if I agree with it. I think there's some better teams with Arizona State, Utah, Baylor, Texas Tech, K-State, but it is a wide open conference. He's not wrong about that. But for today, I do think KU looks to hang a number. I do think KU wants to run the score up, and I do think they'll have the better talent on the field over Fresno. I laid 13.5, but officially we'll lay 14. It may wind up pushing, but I like KU here. 31-14, somewhere in that range coming up here. Let's take Kansas minus 14 at home up against Fresno State. That total has come down, amazingly enough, from 51.5 down to 50 or 49.5. So some play on the under, which leads me to believe that Fresno's not going to score. It makes me like KU even more here to go ahead and take Kansas laying 14 for 1.1 units. Now, let's go to baseball. Those are our 2-week zero plays. KU and Kansas State. Let's go to baseball. So the Red Sox and the Yankees are playing an epic series. 1-0 win for the Red Sox yesterday. That's why it was 0-0. 0-0 after 5. So that pushed. Took the Red Sox at plus money. The Yankees are going to face Garrett Crochet. Here's the scary thing for Boston. Now, Boston's been very good. 7-1 against the Yankees this year. Really good. But Garrett Crochet in his last start in Yankee Stadium did not go well at all. 6 innings, 5 earned runs in a 10-7 win. Now, he pitched at Fenway against the Yankees in his next start, and he was awesome. He went 8 1/3, 2-1 win in 10. That was the Aaron Judge top of the 9th moonshot home run off of Crochet. Red Sox won the game in the 10th, 2-1. So here we're now looking at Crochet in his last start on the road against Houston. Was his worst start of the year. Went 4 innings, gave up 5 earned runs, 7 hits. The Yankees hit lefties. Like, they hit lefties well. So, 263 batting average, that's 4th best in Major League Baseball. 175 RBIs, that's also 4th best in Major League Baseball. They have 49 home runs off lefties, that's 3rd best in Major League Baseball. I think it's worth the shot. The Yankees are desperate here, okay? And they haven't done anything. We get plus 120 on the Yankees in the first 5. Red Sox could come back on the bullpen and win the game. That's very possible. But I think Crochet might be in a little bit of trouble here simply because the Yankees hit lefties. And on the road, Crochet has been good. Good, a Cy Young type, maybe even great. But he's been less effective on the road, as most pitchers are, than at home. Will Warren for the Yankees, team has won 3 of the last 4 games he has started. He's given up 1, 2, 0, and 1 earned run in those 4 games. He's been really good. At home, Will Warren has a 2.86 ERA, and he's 6-3, opposing batting average of 208, 23 earned in 72 1/3 innings worth of work. He's pretty good. At Yankee Stadium, Crochet has been roughed up by Yankee Stadium. Yankees hit lefties. First 5 is plus 120 for the Yankees. Same bet as yesterday, but let's go the other way. I'll fade my Red Sox for plus money. I'll bet against my team if it means I win money. I'll take the Yankees. Yankees plus 120, first 5 money line. If they're tied after 5 like yesterday, refund, no foul. Maybe the under isn't a bad idea for the game, 8.5, or maybe even an under for the first 5. You can do that as well if you'd like. But I'm just going to take the Yankees to be leading. It might be 1-0 after 5. Red Sox, Yankees plus 120, first 5 money line here today. And finally, we go to the WNBA, where the Las Vegas Aces continue to be red hot. Vegas hasn't lost a game since the 2nd of August. They are rolling. And since the 2nd of August. Head-to-head wise against Washington, Vegas is 7-3 ATS over the last 10 games. Last time they played was on July 10th of this year, so it's been about a month and a half. It was at Washington, where they are here today. It was a 70-67 win. Vegas was a 3-point favorite. They did not cover because they won by 2. However, since then, Vegas has been rolling. They have won 9 games in a row. And against the spread, they're 8-1-1 against the spread over their last 10 games. This number is 7. Some books are at 7.5. FanDuel's already at 8. But 7 here. Washington on the flip side is 4-6 ATS over their last 10 games. They just came off of back-to-back losses in a home-and-home to Connecticut. Both games are losses. Both games they failed to cover because they were favored in both games, laying 6 and laying 2.5, and they lost them both outright to the Connecticut Sun. Vegas has flipped a switch, and they're playing incredibly well, even on the road. I'll lay the 7 here with Vegas. 9-1 over their last 10, like I mentioned, 9 straight victories for Vegas, and they are locked in here, and they're climbing the standings. They're 23-14 on the year, which is remarkable for where they were about halfway through. Vegas is all the way up to the 3 seed, and they're a half a game back of the Atlanta Dream for the 2 seed. They're not going to catch the Lynx. The Lynx have clinched a playoff berth, but they're going to be most likely the 1 seed, 29-7. So Vegas is 7 games back in the loss column to Minnesota, but the 2 seed is very much right there for the Vegas Aces. If they keep this up, 9 wins in a row, let's make it 10. Let's keep Washington's free fall here. They've lost 2 games in a row, and they're 3-7 over their last 10 straight up. Vegas -7 for 1.1 units. All right, so plays for today on Saturday: K-State -3, Kansas -14, Yankees first 5 money line at +120, and the Vegas Aces laying 7 on the road to Washington at -110. Those are our plays for Week 0 and for Saturday for the Daily Juice. I'll talk to you on the Discord channel, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern Time for the first Week 0 college football of the year. Live chat on Discord. You guys can follow me on Twitter at SportsTalkMatt every morning, wherever you guys get your podcasts, including Week 0 Saturday. It is the Daily Juice.